I haven't appeared speech disabled in months, and I no longer think negatively about my speech, as I used to do all the time. I am now working on not planning words under pressure, and once I master that, I will work on loving to speak in all situations. My speech goal is to become the best speaker in my peer group, and hopefully one day become a certified speech coach. I want to say thank you to Coach Lee. He is an amazing person who has dedicated his life to stopping stuttering. But I would say he's more than that. I feel like the mind training that Coach Lee talks about is so important to other areas of your life that Coach Lee should be up there with the greats of Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, and Norman Vincent Peale. I also want to thank the WSSA community and everyone that regularly attends the SAM meetings. I've only been able to attend a couple of these live, but I've watched many of the recordings. And I want to say that when I first started watching the SAM meetings, I thought many of you were imposters. I felt that there's no way that you guys used to stutter. You all sound amazing. I appreciate all of your time today and for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
That was a fantastic speech. And I mean, it was a perfect example of extreme pronunciation and full stops.
Your speech was fantastic. I noticed you used a lot of pauses, which made it sound really good. You were super consistent from start to finish.
I really enjoyed the speech. Your English is very clear for me because English is not like my mother tongue, but it was very easy to follow your speech.
Your speech was great, is great, and your story was fantastic and very inspiring for me. So thanks for sharing your story.
Amazing speech. I really enjoyed your speech.
Well, amazing speech. I was also starting to think that you're an imposter because your speech plan was really perfectly executed.
I just want to say that this speech was great.
Just like everyone has said, fantastic speech.
It's been said, the speech was amazing and you sound amazing. That's really, really nice.
What part of the program do you find has been most beneficial to the fluency of your speech?
I don't know if there's one thing. I think the mind training has been very helpful, and the crutches have been very helpful also. But maybe the most important thing that helped me was the reading every day. I would read right when I wake up in the morning, and I would read about an hour every day.
Do you still have pressure situations? Like, you still have those in your life? And if yes, then how do you handle it?
I don't have them very often. If I do, it is in small groups. I don't really do a lot of public speaking, but when I have to a small group, that's when I do feel a little bit of pressure. And I don't know if it's just nerves of speaking in a group, like public speaking nerves, or if it's speech anxiety.
And I'm just curious, do you still use crutches except when you have to give a talk, and do you still read an hour and all that stuff, or how's that?
Yes, and yes. I use the crutches. I read every day. I do the mind training every day. And it's become part of my daily life.
Amazing. Good work. Keep it up. Thank you.
What advice would you give to current PWS who are in the program and are diligently immersing themselves in it, but still haven't got to where they want to be in their speech?
I would say, don't give up. I I began the program in 2021, and I didn't feel like I really fully had overcome everything until earlier this year. So, it took me about 3 years. Whereas I know others in the program, they do it in a month or weeks. For me, it was a little bit longer. So I would just say, don't give up. Believe in the program. It works. And that's it.
Yeah, that's definitely great advice.
It is my first meeting, and I just wanted to ask that during the start of your journey, how did you imply the approaches? Like, do you imply it like on the moment, or does it come automatically? Like,
So I remember listening to either one of the SAM meetings or a video that Lee had done, and he talked about somebody that would focus on one crutch a week, and that's what I did. I wrote out all the crutches on note cards, and for that week, I would only work on that crutch. Like, that's the one that I would work on, and then that way, it would just help me to really focus on that crutch and really learn it as best as I could.
Just wanted to ask, how was your time in high school and also university as well? Did your speech ever get in the way of getting to know new people? And how did others react to your speech? Thanks.
So it didn't really get in the way. I would have my own ways of avoiding speaking situations. I wasn't always the one that would always raise my hand to speak up, in class. But, I also tried to use it to my advantage. Like, when I met my wife, when we were dating, I said, hey, I stutter, but this makes me a much better listener. This makes me better than all the other men that you may date, because I stutter.
Thank you very much, Dave. It's a very good answer as well.
Question and answer period. You spoke completely spontaneously, and you did not plan one word that you said, did you?
I did not.
And that's a huge achievement. And as you know, we strongly recommend that program for everybody, whether you want to actually, be a coach or not is another story, because everyone has their own issues going on with their lives. But the training program itself is very valuable, and it will only improve your speech. You mentioned that it took you 3 years in the program to accomplish your goal. But our goal for you was accomplished sooner than that. Our goal, look, of course, we want everyone here to love to speak. I do. Berthusia does. There are other people here who do. But we want everybody to love to speak. But not everybody. It can take a long time to do that. It depends upon how much you're willing to put yourself out there. You got to swim to be a good swimmer. You want to beat the swimmers at your country club, at your club at school or whatever. Even if there's only 20 or 30 of them competing, you got to work at it to do it. So it takes some time and effort. So any event, the training program will definitely help you achieve your goal of loving to speak. And to really get there, you have to focus on your pressure situations. And right now, before you gave your talk today, we asked you some questions, and you said that you were only feeling pressure with groups, and that's what the average human being feels pressure when they talk to groups. They don't stutter, they may sweat, they may have other problems, but they're not stuttering per se. So it's all totally normal to feel some heat in front of a group. But I can tell you, if you keep talking in front of groups, you will come to love it. Pressure notwithstanding, I feel zero pressure with a group. Zero. In fact, I know I speak better under pressure than anywhere else. And I'm not doing anything that you can't do, David. Nothing. And your speech sounds great. Could you have some more stops? Yes. Could you put a little more passion? I'm being very nitpicky. You know, could you become a Shakespearean actor? Maybe not, but you're headed in the right direction. And you sounded great. And I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy life long after you beat it. And I should have said, by our definition, you beat it. When was it? I wrote it down. Oh, why can't I find my own notes? Well, when did you, in March of 2024, you posted your success story. But in my opinion, you should have posted it before that, because our objective, our initial objective is not to become loving to speak. That's asking too much. It's or even getting over planning, which you have. But it's even that. It's, did you stop appearing speech disabled or not? And the answer is yes. And you stopped that probably a couple of years ago. You can't remember your last bad incident, can you?
I do not.
I rest my case. Anybody who said that beat it a long time ago. You are guilty of fluency. You're guilty of, as charged with fluency for a couple of years. So hats off to you. But your reluctance to claim the trophy is totally normal as well. And that's what we have to fight. We as coaches need to get people to admit where they are, because if you're not willing to admit where you are, you're holding on to the past. And always remember what Henry Ford said, the inventor of the automobile. When I say I can or I can't, I'm right. So you and I need to say I can. And when we're not having bad incident, we say I can. I can be fluent by the world's definition. Will I make mistakes? Of course I'll make mistakes. But I won't feel speech disabled. And you don't, and you haven't for a very long time. But thank you for coming at this late date to give us a Sam talk, because we needed to hear it from your lips. So thank you ever and ever so much for coming and sharing your story with us.